There is a specific kind of exhaustion that has nothing to do with sleep. It is the exhaustion of being in a room full of people, listening to the noise, watching the mouse move, and feeling absolutely nothing. You felt this. The forced smile, the automatic nod, the desperate urge to check the time. Calculating the exact moment it is socially acceptable to leave and return to the silence of your own space. Society tells you this is a defect. They call you antisocial, awkward, or aloof. They tell you that humans are social creatures, and if you prefer the company of your own thoughts to the chaos of the crowd, something inside you must be broken. But let me tell you the truth that no one else will admit. You are not lonely because you don't know how to connect. You are alone because you see too much. There is a direct correlation between high intelligence and the preference for solitude. It is not a malfunction. It is a mechanism. By the end of this video, you are going to stop apologizing for your nature. We are going to dismantle the guilt you feel for walking alone, and I'm going to hand you the 3 psychological tools to turn your isolation into your greatest competitive advantage. Welcome to the other side of the curve. Let's look at the accepted frame of our modern world. From the moment you enter the school system, you are graded on participation. You are told that the extrovert is the ideal, the loud, the gregarious, the one who feeds on external validation. We live in a culture that pathologizes silence. If you are quiet, people ask, "What's wrong?" If you eat alone, they look at you with pity. But this frame is built for the average mind, and the average mind relies on the herd for survival. Here is why you are stuck. You are trying to run high-performance software on hardware designed for the masses. Psychologically, high intelligence, whether we're talking about IQ or deep emotional intelligence, comes with a burden. Pattern recognition. When you engage in small talk, the weather, the celebrity gossip, the complaining about work, your brain has already predicted the end of the sentence before the other person has finished the first word. You aren't just listening. You are simulating the entire interaction instantly. For a smart person, most social interaction is a movie you have already seen 1,000 times, and you are tired of rewatching it. This isn't arrogance, it's efficiency. Consider the Savanna Theory of Happiness. Evolutionary psychologists have found that for the majority of people, more social interaction equals higher happiness. It mimics the safety of the tribe, but for those with higher cognitive abilities, the data flips. The more they socialize, the lower their life satisfaction becomes. Why? Because for the intelligent mind, other people are often entropy. They introduce noise, drama, and distraction into a system that is trying to focus on complex problems. You aren't a loner because you hate people. You are a loner because you subconsciously guard your energy for things that actually matter. You are protecting your signal from their static. But because you don't understand this, you force yourself to fit in. You wear the mask, and that mask is heavy. That is why you are tired. Let's go deeper. Let's look at the philosophy of the solitary mind. The 19th century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer was perhaps the greatest champion of the intellectual loner. He argued that a man can be himself only so long as he is alone. He said, if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free. Schopenhauer realized that the more a person has inside themselves, the less they require from the outside. Think of it like a bank account. If your internal world is bankrupt, if you have no ideas, no curiosity, no inner dialogue, you must go to others to get a loan of stimulation. You need the party to feel alive. But if your internal world is rich, if you are building empires in your mind, solving paradoxes, or exploring art, then other people often act as a tax on your resources. This brings us to the concept of the great filtering. In Jungian psychology, the process of individuation, becoming who you truly are, requires a separation from the collective. You cannot find yourself if you are constantly lost in the crowd. Most people are terrified of being alone because when the noise stops, they are forced to confront their own shadow. They have to look at their insecurities, their failures, and their emptiness. So, they text, they scroll, they seek the crowd to drown out the silence. You, however, have likely already met your shadow. The smart person often spends time in rumination. You know your demons. You aren't running from the silence. You are navigating it. But here is where most smart people get it wrong. And this is the trap you must avoid. They confuse solitude with isolation. Isolation is a state of lack. It is feeling cut off, rejected, and bitter. It breeds cynicism. It creates the tortured genius archetype who mocks the world because he cannot be part of it. Solitude, on the other hand, is a state of fullness. It is a choice. It is the laboratory where you do your work. Isaac Newton invented calculus in solitude during the Great Plague. Tesla visualized his motors in the dark. Nietzsche wrote "Thus spoke Zarathustra" while hiking alone in the Alps. The pattern is undeniable. High-value creation requires low-frequency distraction. If you are a loner, you are not failing at being a human, you are succeeding at being a creator. But only if you stop feeling guilty about it and start using it correctly. So, how do we shift from the awkward outcast to the strategic sovereign? How do you navigate a world built for extroverts without losing your mind? Here are 3 protocols you need to integrate starting today. Stop trying to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Smart people often have a savior complex. You try to elevate the conversation. You try to fix people's problems. You try to bring logic to an emotional fight. And when it fails, you feel drained. You must adopt the rule of reciprocity. If you throw a ball of deep conversation and the other person drops it or looks confused, do not throw another ball. Do not cast your pearls before swine. It annoys the swine, and you lose your pearls. Curate a circle of competence. This might be only 2 or 3 people in your entire life who can actually meet you at your level. Pour your social energy into them. For everyone else, be polite, be brief, and be gone. Protocol 2: Strategic masking. You cannot avoid small talk forever. It is the grease that keeps the machinery of society moving, but you can change how you view it. Stop viewing small talk as a waste of time. View it as data collection. When you are forced to socialize, switch into anthropologist mode. You are a researcher studying a tribe. Ask questions, observe their behavior, analyze their motivations. Why is he bragging about that car? What is she actually hiding with that laugh? By shifting from participant to observer, you detach your emotions from the boredom. You are no longer trapped. You are studying. This preserves your battery life. Protocol 3: Active solitude. This is the most critical step. If you cut out the world but replace it with Netflix, video games, and doom scrolling, you are not a philosopher. You are just hiding. Solitude is only a superpower if it is active. You must view your time alone as a production facility. When the door is closed, the work begins. Read the books that are too difficult for others. Build the body that requires discipline they don't have. Master the skill that takes uninterrupted focus. If you are going to be a loner, be a dangerous one. Make your absence felt by the quality of what you bring back when you return. The world forgives your eccentricity if you bring them gold. It is time to rewrite the narrative. You are not defective, you are specialized. The eagle does not fly in a flock that is reserved for the pigeons. The tiger does not hunt in a pack that is reserved for the hyenas. Society will always try to pull you back down to the average because your independence highlights their dependency. They want you to be part of the crowd so they can feel safe. Do not give them that satisfaction. Embrace the silence. Use the solitude to sharpen your mind until it cuts through the noise of this world like a razor. You have walked alone this far. Now, walk with purpose. If you are ready to stop apologizing for your nature and start mastering your mind, make sure you are subscribed. We are building a rare few here. Solitude is power.